Mike Bond here in Anaheim, standing with Derek Brunson, who fights Ian Heinisch on Saturday at UFC 241. Derek, a bit of a milestone fight for you here, your 20th Strikeforce UFC fight. First of all, did you know that, and does that mean anything to you?
I didn't know that. I knew it was my 16th UFC fight, so I was up on that. So, yeah, it means a great deal, you know. It's funny, whenever I started fighting, I said I'm going to get 20 in the UFC, so I'm getting close.
Yeah, we're getting close. How would you rate what you've done so far, like your career? Are you happy with where you are right now? Is there, been moments? I'm sure, it's up and down for everyone, but how would you rate how things have gone 20 fights in?
So. I'm 10-5, 13-6 in Zuffa UFC. So, that's good by most people's standards, but I felt I should have been, a lot closer, contended for a title. I remember when I came to the sport, a lot of people said, hey, if you don't contend for a title, in the next 5 years, then something went wrong. So that's kind of how I feel, So I still have time, and I'm still, working on things and growing. So that's still a goal of mine.
Yeah, and coming off the last one, I know how important that was for you to just get back on track. What does that do, just returning to the win column for your confidence and everything moving forward, especially into this fight? Yeah,
very confident. And I have guys that are hungry, that want to take my spot, that want to be in the rankings, that have to, eventually, if they're going to keep doing this sport, they have to make money. So in order for you to make money, you have to beat top guys, So this is a guy who's coming, he's hungry, and I'm hungry too, because I still have the aspiration of, getting that title shot and actually holding the belt. So I'm still hungry.
Yeah, was this a matchup that you anticipated at all, or did this one kind of come, out of left field a little bit for you? Because obviously Ian only has 2 fights in the UFC, so he hasn't really been around as long as some of the guys you've been facing for a while here now.
Well, he mentioned my name a couple times, and I pay attention to my division. So I was kind of anticipating. I'm always like, hey, I can either fight this guy, or this guy. It's not too many guys that I can fight, being that, I'm ranked in the top 10, and I've been for the last couple years, and they always want ranked guys to fight ranked guys. So I knew he was one of the guys. If he would have beaten, Shoeface, who was ranked before, then it's a possible fight. So yeah, he was by him mentioning my name, he was on my radar.
Yeah. Have you been impressed by what he's done so far?
No, not really. I haven't really been impressed. I've seen him in fights, and I've seen him. He's been getting beat. I didn't see his first fight. I saw his second fight, and he was actually getting beat. He was losing the fight. I was like, oh, he's going to lose this fight. And then all of a sudden, Shoeface, as he always do, he get tired in fights, and he kind of, he's one of those guys that you can break, and that's what happened. And it wasn't really more of Ian broke him; he just broke because we had a common opponent in Dan Kelly. Shoeface fought. He's a superior grappler. He's one of the best grapplers in MMA, and in that fight, he was winning the first 2 rounds and just faded, and Dan Kelly TKO'd him, and I went on and finished Dan Kelly in the first round. And it's the same thing as that. He was beating Ian Heinisch, the first 2 rounds, taking him down, probably 5 or 6 times, where he's not really a wrestler, and Ian's supposed to be a wrestler, and all of a sudden he just fades. So wasn't really impressed. It was more about the opponent that he was fighting.
Yeah, and I've listened to some of Ian's media leading up to this, and he says the plan is, it's to get Derek emotional, get him to fight crazy. Is this like a, outdated kind of philosophy to fight you? I know there was that like internal battle when you were on the first round knockout streak, and you're kind of trying to make that balance, but that seems like it's kind of in the rear view now. Is that like a bad approach to come in with fighting you, now in 2019?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm past all that, like I'm in the important part of my career where it's like, I gotta start making waves and keep the steps forward. Like, I'm not okay with losing. I don't like losing. I'm a very competitive guy, and my body still feel good. I'm 35, but I feel like I'm 25 because I take care of my body. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything like that. So I can last longer than guys who've been doing that all their career. So. Yeah, that's not gonna work. The mental game is strong. I mean, I know he's gonna come in this fight. He's gonna be nervous, and he's saying that because that's what he hoped would happen. But no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna take our time. We're gonna strategically pick him apart, and when opportunity present itself, just finish the fight.
So you did this whole camp at Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah, we did the whole fight camp at Hard Knocks, and the room is full of guys who that's going to push you until you can't push no more. So I've been past that, and I'm not really to go out there and get riled up. I'm going to take my time and do it right.
Yeah, and I know Robbie had the hiccup, but outside of that, it seems like there's been a lot of strong momentum, good results for this team lately. What's just it like being in the gym with all these guys, fighting near you, big names who have big fights, kind of just like-minded people right now?
It's good, it's good. It's good to have that pace where, you have a lot of big name guys and guys getting ready for high level fights because everybody on the same page, and it's a very team and family oriented over there. Everybody's just working hard trying to get each other better, and nobody's really like hating on each other or trying to bring anybody else down. Everybody's trying to lift each other up. So it's a good thing to have, and guys are pushing, even guys who are like, it's funny, you got a guy there that's like 14-11, but I know he can beat a lot of UFC guys. He's just one of those guys that's an 85er, but he fights 205 his whole career. He just fought whenever, but he's like a really skilled guy, So it's a lot of guys there to push. So
I know you're bummed you didn't get to fight on ESPN. Have we gotten over this? Are you happy with your card placement on the pay-per-view here?
Yeah, it's all good. I would have liked to been spotlighted on ESPN, been the last fight, but it's all good. I've been all over the world with MMA, fought on a lot of big cards, fought on, small cards, headline cards. So, yeah, I'm happy to be here, healthy, ready to fight.
And you win on this platform against a guy who's kind of on the come up and stuff. What does this do for your career? Where does this put you in the middleweight division moving forward?
Just put me right where I need to be, a nice little streak going, and then set myself up for a bigger fight, and then, still have the title aspirations. You got a lot of guys flipping divisions and a lot of big fights coming up. So, yeah, it's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, obviously, you're familiar with Whitaker and Adesanya. Who do you think wins that fight coming up in a few months?
That's a tough one. I can see either one of them winning. If it gets in the inside range, I think Whitaker will win the fight. If it stays on the outside, I think Adesanya will win the fight.
And then what about you? How do you get it done on Saturday night against Ian?
Oh, finish. Go out here and just wait for the guy to come big, or I lead the dance and just finish the fight. I see myself getting it done. It's all according to how he wants to fight. Is he gonna run all night, or he's gonna wait for me, or is he gonna bring the fight, or actually want to engage? So.
Perfect. Well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for the time, Derek. Appreciate it.